We ever had? Oh. We ever had? Oh.
You have to buy everybody dinner.
We ever had? Oh.
Testing.
And it's 7:40. I would like to call the regular meeting of the Isabella County Board of Commissioners to order. Stand for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Marino,
Here.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Here.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Here.
Commissioner Embry,
Here.
Commissioner Jelazinski, Commissioner Engler,
Here.
Commissioner Howard.
Here.
Except for Commissioner Jelazinski, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Up next would be the approval of the agenda. We'll start out with general public comments. We don't have any presentations and special reports at this regular session. No appointments to boards and commissions. The consent agenda. Commissioner Embry, would you present that when the time comes?
I sure will.
Sir, thank you. And then committee reports, Finance Administration Committee.
Mr. Chair, the Finance and Administration Committee is ready.
Thank you. Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
The Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee is all set, Mr. Chairman.
And Public Works Committee.
Public Works Committee is all set, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We have no intergovernmental affairs, no administrator controller issues, no unfinished business, no new business. We'll have general public comment again towards the end of the meeting. Announcements and adjournment. So with that, is there a motion to approve the agenda? Been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Brings us to general public comments. Anyone for general public comments? None. We can move right down to the consent agenda. Commissioner Embry.
Thank you, sir. Motion reads, move to approve and place on file the June 6th, 2023 regular meeting minutes, the June 13th, 2023 Finance and Administration Committee meeting minutes, and the June 13th, 2023 Human Resource and Public Works Committee meeting minutes, and the June 13th, 2023 Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee meeting minutes.
Support.
Been supported to approve and place on file the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Very good. Committee reports, Finance and Administration Committee.
Thank you, Chairman Hope. The Finance and Administration Committee. Let's see, we have 8 items. First item, June 2nd, 2023 invoice list, the June 9th, 2023 invoice list, and the June 15th, 2023 adjustment list. Motion reads, move to ratify and place on file the June 2nd, 2023 invoice list in the amount of $297,719.15. The June 9th, 2023 invoice list in the amount of $280,764.46. And the adjustment list dated June 15th, 2023.
Support.
I moved and supported to ratify and place on file the June 2nd, 2023 invoice list, the June 9th, 2023 invoice list, and the June 15th, 2023 adjustment list discussed.
I think we covered a good majority of what we needed to cover in our work session. Drains. I would appreciate the sheriff explaining the core technologies record management system to me. Appreciate that very much. And then beyond just a few things that we discussed during committee, during our work session, we have their regular customary expenses that come down the chute every month. So that's about all I have on that.
Very good. Any further discussion? And hearing none, Madam Clerk, the roll call, please.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Embry,
Yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope.
Yes.
0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Item number 2, prime contract change order number 7 with Clark Construction. Motion reads, move to approve the prime contract change order number 7 with Clark Construction in the net additional amount of $29,369 and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
Been supported to approve the prime contract change order number 7 of Clark Construction. Discussion.
Again, I think we covered all of the changes. Most of them were, I guess they're centered around changes in the kitchen. A little bit larger rooms. You know, they did have some material cost increases they passed along. I think that pretty much covered it.
Good. Any other discussion, questions, comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Embry,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope.
Yes.
0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Number 3 is the engagement letter with Manor Costerison. Motion reads, move to approve the engagement letter with Manor Costerison dated June 2nd, 2023 for accounting and consulting services and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the engagement letter with Manor Costerison. Discussion.
I know Administrator Frost enlightened us on as to the needs that we have in administration. So obviously, this is something that we have used in the past and it's worked well for us. So bringing people on board through them will help us tremendously kind of get back to square one, hopefully someday.
Had a quick question. How many hours would we use an associate in that position? Is it?
So right now with the vacancy that we had, with the vacancies that we have, the gentleman that we have from Manor, his name is Phil Chakowski. And he is now on site 2 days a week. That's kind of what he's settled into. So I think that'll evolve from there, but he's doing a lot of the things that the remote accountant that we were able to secure through Robert Half, things that remote couldn't do. The bank reconciliations, treasurer's office, really strongly suggested we don't send bank statements offsite as a best management practice. So that is part of what Phil is doing. Phil's handling all the wire transfers that we do weekly to that are involved with that health reimbursement arrangement that we have where we buy the high deductible plan and fund it, self-fund that down. Phil is handling those wire transfers because the stuff physically has to be taken down to the treasurer's office. He's also handling the USDA draws, keeping that the stuff for the jail project on site. So right now it's about 2 days a week. So we're hoping to pare that down over time.
Any other questions, discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Embry,
Yes.
Commissioner,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope. 6 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Item number 4, project development agreement between Johnson Controls Incorporated. Motion reads, move to approve the project development agreement between Johnson Controls, Inc. and Isabella County for detailed project development to determine the viability of projects for a performance contract and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the project development agreement between Johnson Controls, Inc. Discussion.
Obviously, I brought up earlier, Chair, this idea of the total costs and being able to drill into those total costs and determine whether or not those are reasonable, I guess would be the word, because the higher that total cost, the more years it's going to take us to get to where we realize the savings. So the less that cost is, the sooner we can start realizing those savings in our financial picture. The other question I have and very concerned is, I realize they projected out 20 years of savings. A lot of the equipment, the lifespan of this equipment isn't 20 years realistically before it starts to incur cost repairs and maintenance. So I want to be careful, like something like lighting and some of that, it will definitely last 20 years. But there are certain aspects of this project that we're talking about where that 20-year number of lifespan might not necessarily play out the way we think. So I'm just concerned, one, if the cost is really high and the payback doesn't come to fruition over time, what's really the net gain of all of this? So I guess that's kind of where I want to go moving forward, especially with Finance and Administration Committee meetings. I've already essentially put them on notice to, hey, you guys are gonna have to come with numbers and hard numbers, and I'm gonna ask some tough questions because, again, I don't want to see us spend $7 million when, if I took it to the experts, people that know, and it would only cost us 5.5, you spend an extra $1.5 million. How long does it take us to recoup that at $126,000 a year, to where we can start seeing a net gain? I guess that's my concern. The only reason I'm saying this, just for the rest of the commissioners, I've dealt with this type of operation before in the restaurant industry, and same kind of situation where they come up front with all the savings and all the good feel-good stuff. But then when you get down to hard numbers and start looking at what the costs are going to be, in my situation, they were inflated, and we didn't realize that until after we signed the dotted line and we were in the contract. Now, I'm not saying we didn't have savings and it wasn't a good idea, but I just want to be right up front and say, I think it's important that we do our due diligence to make sure we don't spend any more money than we have to. So that's my point.
Appreciate it. Commissioner Engler.
Yeah, I'd be curious when they come back to report to what we haven't been doing a lot of is looking at the life of some of our stuff, like with the roofs, the water heaters. You know, we've really haven't done a good job on foreseeing what we need to replace and when we needed to replace that and when to schedule them. So even if we don't do anything here, that we're actually looking forward to this and trying to budget some of that is probably a good thing, because if we've run into problems where we're putting Band-Aids or have to fix something at the last minute, and that always costs you a lot more than, like with the cooler or the jail heat. So we've had issues with not being prepared. So just to have someone come in there and even make an estimate or see what the life is on some of this, I think would be a positive.
Right. And well, I speak, to parrot a little bit of what he said, the project scope is what we make of it in the end. How much we do or what parts of the project even we do. So for example, like, water heaters, we probably could put in some tankless water heaters ourselves cheaper than having Johnson Control put them in. Boilers, roofs, solar panels, those type of long-term projects that last for a lengthy time, I think are a good idea, because we're at a point with our county buildings where they're from the 70s, 80s, or 90s, which we're now at 2023. And a lot of these projects need to be done now. We're in a problem with money, and doing them alongside of these, the solar project and the ARPA money is the way that we can keep the county moving forward and running, and save some money through federal dollars and feeding back. So I think it'll be good for the future of the county. I do like the idea that we can nitpick on the project and decide what we want them to do. So we're in it for the engineering fees so for me, it's like, is it worth having this basically $300,000 study done to save the county money and to get the county updated? We're gonna update our HVAC system for $3.5 million, whether or not we do this. So we move forward smartly.
There you go. That's the
I
key.
just want to say that I understand your concerns,
Hmm.
Commissioner Embry, but I think that we're in a unique situation. Like Commissioner Swaney said, the inflation reduction, the ARPA money and especially like the synergy between determining how much energy we use and possibly balancing that with the solar arrays. I think that's really interesting and exciting, really. I just think now is the good time to leverage the opportunity to make our money go the furthest that it ever has. So that's, as long as like you said, Commissioner Swaney, we can tweak a little bit or whatever on the things that we want to and customize it to our unique situation. I just think I think this is a really good deal.
I agree, and I think we really need to bring our facility director in and fine tune this whole thing. I think he has a grasp on what we really do, but I think our opportunity is
Great. Yep.
taking a chance. Sure, you're taking a chance, but I think with all the opportunities that are there, it outweighs. We're gonna have to do this. He was saying,
Yeah.
a lot of these things, hang.
Great. Yeah, with our own money or with grant money outside that. And again, just so you all understand, I'm not opposed to this at all,
No.
right? And I think it's, but I want to make sure that we're, again, diligent and frugal as we possibly can and get as big a bang for our buck as possible, not just short term. And I really, Commissioner Swaney is talking about going green. I think we have to. There's no other way around it. And this gives us the best opportunity to do that in the most cost-effective way. I just want to make sure it's the most cost-effective way, right? Okay, that's it for me.
I guess, Commissioner Embry, I really appreciate your willingness, I guess, to dive into it. And I know that you will. I know that you will do your
Yeah,
due
but,
diligence.
Yes, sir. Mhm.
To look everything that they bring to us, to look it over thoroughly. I know that you will do that, and I appreciate that. And I think Commissioner Moreno kind of said that now's the time with the tax credits from the Inflation Reduction Act available to governments now. And really the end game, we're kind of leveraging future savings. So are we going to see decreased spending? Maybe not, because we're kind of leveraging that into some much needed capital improvements. And it's a way to kind of come up with a capital improvement plan. Our capital improvement plan has kind of been on an emergency basis. You know, we got a chiller out, or we got a problem, we got to fix it now. So I think this is a way to kind of look toward the future and get some of those capital improvements done and not have any upfront costs to the taxpayers.
To piggyback on what you're saying. So obviously we've been knee-jerk reaction, Band-Aids, fix it on the fly in the past. And you all know that I'm very forward thinking. So we do this, now's the time. In addition to doing this project, to start setting ourselves up for life expectancies of these pieces of equipment so that we have it in the budget. We're putting money away, putting it aside and having it ready when those times come and not waiting until the last minute. I think we need to be much more forward thinking about capital improvements and R&M and that sort of thing.
Right.
So.
Yes, Commissioner Swaney.
I'd just like to, maybe put a feather back in our facilities director's hat, and that since he's come on, he has talked about life expectancies and he's and the need for, a roof here and HVAC system needs to be replaced, where that, I was just starting out before that, and so it was new talk to me. So it's definitely good, having him on and starting those conversation. But he's starting from a position where he's got a HVAC system that's from 1975 or in the admin building or whatever. So it's tough hole.
That's good comments. I appreciate Mr. Schumacher kind of pushing us in that direction of thinking about our facilities, and he's done a fantastic job. Him and his staff did a lighting retrofit and changed all these over to LED and amazing time frame, a really short time frame. This building, the administration building and the court, that's a big job. And he has a small staff. They got it done pretty quickly. It was impressive.
It was great to hear from John's Control that they said it was 18 to 20% decrease.
I hadn't heard that figure before. Yeah, that was interesting.
I'd like to see his feather and raise a feather because facilities director Shoemaker and Sheriff Maine are actually looking at some asset management software that would do exactly what you're talking about. Setting up when preventative maintenance is supposed to happen, when filters are supposed to be changed, when valves are supposed to be checked. You input how many staff you have and it gives you a calendar of what that staff needs to do today, right? Unbelievable, unbelievably valuable. And we could roll the cost of asset management software into this performance contracting project. So it's really setting us up well for the future, I think.
Cool.
Very good. Any other comments? Questions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swain,
Yes,
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
no nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Item number 5, the 2023 State Tax Commission Form L-4046 Taxable Valuation Report. Motion reads, move to accept and place on file the 2023 State Tax Commission Form L-4046 Taxable Valuation Report as presented.
support.
Been moved and supported to accept and place on file the 2023 State Tax Commission Form L-4046 Taxable Valuation Report. Discussion.
Mr. Pete Preston gave us a brief presentation on setting our 6.61 millage rate for the summer taxes. And we need to approve that in order to set that rate and in order to collect our summer taxes.
Very good. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes,
Commissioner Hutchinson,
yes,
Commissioner Emery,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Item number 6, State Tax Commission Form L-4029-2023 Tax Rate Request Form. Motion reads, move to approve the State Tax Commission Form L-4029-2023 Tax Rate Request Form, setting the 2023 Isabella County Separate Tax Limitation Operating Millage Rate at 6.61 mils, and authorizing the board chair and county clerk to sign the same.
support.
Been moved and supported to approve State Tax Commission Form L-4029 2023 Tax Rate Request Form. Discussion.
Upon approval of this motion, which is a customary process that the board goes through every year at this time, in order to authorize the ability to collect summer taxes.
Further discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney.
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Emery,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope.
Yes,
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Madam Clerk.
And item number 8. Fiscal year 2023 budget amendment number. Hang on, I missed one. I take that back. Number 7. Fiscal year 2023 budget amendment number 2023-12, the third quarter budget adjustments for general fund. Motion reads, move to approve fiscal year 2023 budget amendment number 2023-12, third quarter budget adjustments for general fund and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
It's supported to approve fiscal year 2023 budget amendment number 2023-12. Third quarter budget adjustments for general fund. Discussion.
Madam Administrator, you know, touch on this real quick for us?
Sure. All told, this decreases the general fund balance by just over $200,000. Some good news with some revenues that we didn't know were coming, and some bad news with some revenues that
They lost.
we thought were coming and isn't. So all told, $200,000 hit, if you will, to fund balance.
That's it.
Any other discussion on that? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Emery,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope.
Yes,
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Madam Clerk.
I apologize for getting ahead of myself. I know you've all heard.
finished, surely.
I was trying hard. All right, last but not least, again, item 8, fiscal year 2023 budget amendment number 2023-13, third quarter budget adjustments for other funds. Motion reads, move to approve fiscal year 2023 budget amendment number 2023-13, third quarter budget adjustments for other funds, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
It's supported to approve fiscal year 2023 budget amendment number 2023-13. Third quarter budget adjustments for other funds. Discussion.
Madam
So
Administrator.
this all basically nets out to zero, lots of funds involved. Taking out the capital project for the Parks Coldwater Lake Sewer Project is not happening. Adding in a data processing project for the Register of Deeds Automation Fund. Taking those opioid dollars and creating its own fund, setting that aside. And Commission on Aging is building in more dollars for a new caregiver position, and the inspections fund is just increasing revenues, increasing expenditures to net out to zero for the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing inspections on the jail project. Those will be handled out of house, and so they didn't plan on the revenue, they didn't plan on the expense, so they're just building both in.
Item. Seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Emery,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Madam Clerk.
Chairman Hope, that concludes finally the business of the Finance and Administration Committee.
Mr. Embry, thank you. Fine job. And that brings us to Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have 3 items. First up is the Westlaw contract. The motion reads, move to approve the renewal of the Westlaw contract to provide legal research for the Isabella County Public Defender's Office for an additional 3-year term and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
Moved and supported to approve the Westlaw contract. Discussion.
This is a firm that they've been doing business with since 2019. It's also the same firm that works with the court and the prosecutor's office. And the expense will be added in the MIDC contract going forward.
Very good. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney.
Yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Emery,
Yes.
Commissioner Hope.
Yes,
0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Madam Clerk.
All right, item 2, fiscal year 2024 victim rights prosecutor grant application. Motion reads, move to approve the fiscal year 2024 victim rights prosecutor grant application and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
And moved and supported to approve the fiscal year 2024 Victim Rights Prosecutor Grant Application discussion.
All right, so this grant application pays for 2 full-time positions in victim rights coordinator and a victim rights advocate, plus a 5% on other necessary goods, supplies, and definitely money sorely needed for those positions. And
So that's-
Very good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney,
yes.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Emery.
Yes.
Yes,
0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
clerk.
All right, item number 3, Isabella County Assistant Prosecutor position salary. Motion reads, move to authorize Isabella County Prosecutor to increase and negotiate the starting salary for Isabella County Assistant Prosecutor position to non-union employee wage scale, pay grade 15, step 5 years, up to the amount of $72,323.63, effective immediately upon Board of Commissioners approval at the June 20th, 23 meeting.
Support.
Been supported to authorize the Isabella County Assistant Prosecutor position salary discussion.
All right, this would give prosecutor David Barber the ability to counter a offer and someone who's applying for a position to bring them in. Right now, he's down 2 positions in the office. The counteroffer would be between the amounts of 58,000 and 72,000, those step increases. And obviously, this just gives him the ability to give the appropriate salary needed for the experience that the person would bring. We've, seen in the past with hiring people, and losing people because of not being able to counter with offers in a quick manner or being able to give an offer that is appropriate to the experience. So this kind of gives him the ability to hopefully bring in another person.
Very good. Any other discussion?
This was a one,
Commissioner Emery.
to piggyback on this, I Prosecutor Barbary brought up this concept of giving department heads a little more flexibility within their budgets. I think obviously the department heads are responsible for their own budgets. They should be able to operate within that financial framework. So the freedom to determine entry-level pay rates and raises, I think for me, that feels like something that should really fall at the feet of the department heads. One, it holds them accountable for their full budget. 2, it gives them the flexibility to be nimble in this situation where, boy, you lose somebody that's got great experience and you lose them because the timing doesn't work out with board meetings. That would be extremely frustrating for me as a department head or a head of anything, where I had to wait 3 weeks to find out whether or not I could make a decent offer. And in this labor market that we have, we need to be much more flexible, much more nimble, just like Prosecutor Barbary mentioned. So that's my comment.
Good. Any other comments? Commissioner Sweeney.
I would say that, obviously the constituents have, put us in a position to oversee the county. But they've also, we're talking about David Barbary and all the other officials that are head of departments who have been elected into there and obviously already have a majority of constituents' approval. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Great.
we're certainly not giving away power that's not already, you know, perceived, I think, by our constituents. So.
Good point. Great. Mhm.
Any other comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
Yes,
Commissioner Hutchinson.
Yes.
Commissioner Emery,
Yes.
Commissioner England,
Yes,
Commissioner Hopper.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
that completes the work of the Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee, Mr. Chairman.
Good, Commissioners, and that brings us to Human Resources and Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our first item is letter of agreement for professional services with Christopher S. Patterson of Fahey Schultz, Berzing and Rhodes PLC. The motion reads, move to approve the letter of agreement for professional services with Christopher S. Patterson, Berzing and Rhodes PLC for services related to a forthcoming utility scale solar project. Authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved and supported to approve the letter of agreement for professional services with Christopher S. Patterson of Fay Schultz, Burzich and Rhodes PLC. Discussion.
Thank you. The reason we're doing this is because we have noted that there's some activity beginning in our county dealing with starting up solar. And as Tim Neoport told us in the work session, he has Christopher S. Patterson when we were rolling out the wind turbines. And so at this time, as we want to be ready for the coming activity of solar projects, we wanted to hit the ground running before they were here. And so that's what this is about. And that's what we would like to do tonight.
Any other discussion? I'd just like to kind of thank Community Development Director Newport for kind of getting out in front of this issue with the escrow accounts and the legal reviews and the professional service agreement that we're going to talk about here shortly with Spicer. He's kind of been proactive and gotten out in front of this, and we know that solar is probably coming. Isabel County and the Community Development Department will be ready for it.
There you
And
go.
I thank him for that. He did the same thing with the wind project, and we were well positioned and well ready for that one as well. So I appreciate Mr. Newport on that. Any other comments, discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Swaney.
yes,
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Emery,
Yes.
Commissioner England,
yes,
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner.
Yes.
Ayes, 0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Madam Clerk,
Here's second item, professional service agreement with Spicer Group. Motion reads, move to approve the professional service agreement with Spicer Group for services related to an application for special land use and site plan review for the forthcoming utility scale solar project and authorize the board chair to sign this.
Support.
and moved and supported to approve the professional service agreement with Spicer Group. Discussion.
Yep, along the same lines, Tim Neoport, getting ahead of the job and make sure that we're all set up and doing a service agreement with the Spicer Group and a company that we've used before. And just keeps us up and going and ready to go once some of these solar projects start hitting the ground. People come in for the application.
Great. Had any other discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Emery,
Yes.
Commissioner England,
yes,
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Swaney,
yes,
Commissioner Hope.
Yes,
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Madam Clerk.
Okay, our next item is 4 irregularly scheduled seasonal employee positions, building, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing inspectors. The motion reads, move to approve the creation of up to 4 irregularly scheduled season employee positions, building, mechanical, electrical, plumbing inspectors within the inspections division of the Community Development Department. Immediately.
Support.
Moved and supported to approve 4 irregularly scheduled seasonal employees positions, building, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing inspectors. Discussion.
I think this is another example of Tim Neoport, the Community Development Director, being very creative and effective in dealing with the changes of this economy and this scene these days. So for 15 years, Isabella County Community Development Department has hired fill-in inspectors on independent contractor agreements, kind of agreements. And they're needed because people need sick time, people go on vacations, and it is kind of between like April and deer hunting season. So it's not the whole year, it is seasonal. And after trying some different scenarios that didn't work out, this is what was settled on. And that's why we're bringing this forward tonight.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Embree,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler,
Yes.
Commissioner Marino,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Yes,
Commissioner Hutchinson,
Yes.
Commissioner Holt.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
That concludes the work of the Human Resources and Public Works. Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Commissioners, we have no intergovernmental affairs, no administrator controller issues, no unfinished business, no new business. General public comment.
Sorry.
No problem.
I don't mean to prolong it, but I am remiss. I meant to mention earlier, 2 things. Executive Assistant Jessica Jarosowitz and Accounts Payable Clerk Jenny McLeod have both been very gracious in their goodbyes. I want you to know that they have both been working so hard right down to the end to give us a gift of standard operating procedures and checklists, and they're training people, and I just want you to know they're giving everything right down to the last minute they're here. The other thing I wanted to say is Jessica's last day is Thursday, Ginny's last day is Friday. We are holding a party Thursday afternoon at 1:30 in the Board of Commissioners room to wish them well. So I hope you'll be able to attend. Thank you.
Any other general public comment? And we don't have anyone online, I don't believe, do we, Michelle?
You can thank me for that.
Okay, announcements. Commissioners, any announcements? Commissioner Engler.
I forgot to mention this earlier, but guess what's back? Breakfast on the Farm. Even though it's just outside Isabella County, it is in Blanchard, Michigan. So July 29th, it'll be at the Ekama Farm.
Oh, Acoma Farm, okay.
Ekama Farms out,
Okay.
just Macasta, but just outside our district. So they quit it for a while during COVID and now it's back again. So it's just close to us. So.
Again, please.
July 29th. Thank you.
Breakfast on the farm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Congratulations to Sacred Heart Girls softball team making it to the state semifinal. And congratulate the Beal City Aggie baseball team for winning the state title.
Here, here. Well done.
All right, any other announcements? Just again, yes, Commissioner Hutchinson. Yep.
I think. Commissioner. You understand, and it can be really stressful, especially when people are leaving around here.
Just once again, our hearts go out to the friends and family of Amy Dazinski. And also one other thing, Council of Governments meets at the Administration Building tomorrow night at 7 PM in room 320. That's all I have. Any other announcements? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
Supported, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
They're adjourned 8:24.
Oh, Chairman, you're not even gonna believe all the stuff in that file. It's huge.